So the
Okay, let's
last
go with it.
statement is love to say this. Please hesitate to reach out to me. Check. Ay.
Ah, well, what can you say about this, Lippy?
Hey man, if that's what you feel like, then take steps to be able to again address the self-care, address what your needs are, take care of yourself. It's not selfish to do that. Don't burn out.
Mm-hmm.
And well, one assumption here is again, you have unwittingly co-created this situation where people might, they might not be hesitating to reach out to you, and they might not be hesitating to expect a quick reply to you at, maybe in ungodly hours or during your rest time.
Mm-hmm.
And so why aren't you saying it? Why aren't you saying some form of please hesitate to reach out to you? Which might, for an example, might sound like, you can reach me in normal work hours or if it's really urgent, but if it's a weekend, I'll be with my family and I might not
Mm.
respond in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And that's upfront,
Yeah.
because it's clear for you what your priorities are. I'm and I'm going to be resting. This is what I've got. I've got some things planned. Just leave it at
Yeah.
that. Leave it at that.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, just to jump off, I like what Lippy said there. Be upfront about it. Again, I will go back to a point I raised earlier. Of course, don't be hostile or don't be rude about it as much as possible, is what I'd say. Another suggestion I'd give is also maybe be clear to yourself first. Where is this desire coming from? So if I were to expound, why don't we want people to reach out to us? Is it because maybe the most immediate assumption or the most obvious one would be I have other things I want to do. I don't want to be bothered outside of work hours, or simply ayoko nang kulitin niyo ako. Maybe those are some motivations. Maybe another one is I think this is perfectly clear, and so I think there's no need for further conversation on it.
Yeah.
And now the reason I bring that up is because if that's the case, then the additional suggestion I would have is this might sound a bit funny, but empower or enable people to hesitate to reach out to you. And what do I mean by that? When you send out an email or when you make a statement or deliver a proclamation, make sure it's clear so that if you don't want people to clarify, if you don't want people to nag, if you don't want people to ask all sorts of other questions, then be clear, be upfront about your message, and be clear about the expectations as well. Because sometimes when people reach back out to us, it's because maybe we weren't clear, or maybe we used big terms that they don't understand. Like just a while ago, I was having a conversation with someone, and I realized he was telling me about an experience that someone else told him about. So it's a three-way thing, which is the worst thing you can have. But so it appears that another person had difficulty understanding where I was going, and so I was frustrated that I didn't get a response from the other person. And the other person, I just call him person C, in this case, apparently was having difficulty because, wala, in short, hindi niya nakuha kung ano yung gusto ko, kung ano yung tinatanong ko. And so we were both frustrated with one another, and I didn't know that. It took person B to tell me, I think he was lost. I think he didn't understand what you were getting at, you were saying, what you were asking. And so on my end, I realized, I could have been clearer. I could have been a bit more upfront. Maybe I could have been a bit more succinct about the way I said things.
Yeah.
And so it helps to realize in hindsight. But yeah, then, again, empower or enable the people to not reach out to you by being clear, by giving them what they need. And as Lippy said, by, in short, training them. Don't talk to don't nag me on weekends after work.
I remember an example here. Scrolling through Facebook and then seeing a friend of mine share this article about how someone wrote this email autoresponder that assured no one would disturb the person on their
Mm.
vacation.
Yeah.
And so the email autoresponder goes, and it's not as straight to the point as I would like it to be, but it's a great example. So
Okay.
I'll be on leave on these dates to these dates. I will
Uh-huh.
be enjoying a beachfront vacation with my family and loved ones. If there is an emergency or there is an urgent issue that you would wish me to address while I am on vacation, then contact me on these dates, etc., etc. Here's the nice part, and this is what I think is genius, right? Or you can contact person A at blank, person B at
Yes.
blank, right? And then the last one wraps it up nicely. But if you really want to contact me, you may still do so at this email, knowing that I might not reply to you in a timely manner. Signed person.
Very clear. Very clear. Very clear. And I think, for some people it might throw them off. For some people it might sound like, it's abdicating responsibility or what. But as you put it, no, there was genius in the, I don't know if it's delegation or simply assigning and directing the concerns to other people who could address it in a more timely manner, because that does a number of things. It gives them the feeling that they're not simply going to be ignored for the next week, 2 weeks, because that's difficult also. And second, it gives them a specific place to go rather than you broadly saying, please ask the team or please ask other responsible people or simply not mentioning at all. Then it makes people feel lost. Now, if you direct them to the right place, this is not what I had in mind, but I think that falls under empowering and enabling them to not reach out to you, because then you're directing them to other people. The only caveat there is, I would say, of course, the assumption is napag-usapan nyo na ni person A, person B, and person
So
C.
see, you gotta put in the work.
Yeah, beforehand.
Beforehand. So if you want people to hesitate to reach out to you, right? You have to, for the lack
Yeah.
of a better term, you've gotta train them to think about, what are they
Yep.
bringing to you first, and who
Because if
else
you
can I
don't,
bring this to?
yeah, because if you don't put in the work, then you'll have two people going after you. Two people not hesitating to reach out to
To
you.
reach out to you, going, why are they contacting me
Yes.
about this? No, don't put other people on the spot.
Yeah.
That way.
I think that's a great point. Yeah. Be direct about your out of office, be direct about your work hours and the expectations they can have of your response. And if it's an emergency, then be direct also about how they might be able to get to you or at least get to a response that they need.